Hi guys, basically when we play a game, I'm using a DualSense controller. Right, so this is the boss game M5 mini desktop, Ryzen AI plus 395 with Radeon integrated graphics. It's got a 2TB SSD. It's got a second slot as well, M.2 slot. It's a 128GB model. It's got 16 cores, 32 threads. And basically, I'm just going to show you my setup. And then we're going to play, I'm going to play a bit of Fortnite. Okay? I'm going to play Uprising because Uprising is what I'm doing. Right, so I have Fortnite installed on my system. So basically, right. So what I do first, that's just screen running in the background, but this is actually Epic Games. Right, so I'll go to the first one. Well, before I go to the first one, let me go back here. I need to open up the trade. Using the helper, it's balance. I'm going to turn this to turbo. Then I'm going to put the helper down for a second. So that's done. I'm going to go to CPU and I'm going to change the power plan from balance to high performance and balance power to maximum performance overlay. Core power tune is going to go to 100%, frequency scaling 100%, turbo boost 100%, and performance 100%. Then I just click apply. So you can be, you can get this from the internet for free. This is Online Gaming Hub. I told you this Online Gaming Hub is free as well. You get this from Microsoft Store. And I'm also using set timer resolution. I told you if you need more information about this, you need to watch YouTube, and there's a lot of people that talk about it. And they can actually explain what set timer resolution does in a much better way than I do. Right, so Online Gaming Hub, you can get this for free from Microsoft Store. It's a very nice software. Like I told you, for AI, for every instruction, you can add in track, that's installed 10.5 GB. And basically, you can install apps. When you go to the app section and say install, it will take you to the website for AMD, and then you install the large language modules, all the creative stuff. If you guys are into all of them, right? So go to home, and go to gaming. Games I've currently got installed on my system is got Upgraders, the Deluxe Edition, got Battlefield 6, the basic one, about Black Ops 7, that's the basic edition as well. I've got Fortnite, which is from Epic Games, and that does play on 1440p. It's selected by itself, and I think most of the settings are set to Epic. Humanity Z is also set 1920x1080, it's not like the Fortnite, but Humanity Z does run on Ultra. Right, so for FPS count, Black Ops 7, 167.4 FPS, but you have to remember this was on low graphics, not on anything high, so 167.4 FPS, and this is on low graphics, 1920x1080. Outriders, this is on Epic settings, including ray tracing, but ray tracing I do sometimes put it back to static or put it to high, but now I'm using it on dynamic low. But everything else is on Epic, and I got 316.8 frames, which is a lot. That's like double the amount from Black Ops 7. Graphics, I'm using custom. I used to use HyperX and quality, but I'm not getting the kind of performance that I wanted. So I've gone back to default. I've got Radeon Super Resolution enabled. Open effect is 75%. AMD Fluid Motion Frames 2.1 is enabled. Search mode is set to high. Performance mode is performance. Fast motion response is set to repeat frame It does have something called blended frame. I don't know what the differences are. We've got Radeon anti-lag that's enabled, Radeon boost is enabled, and then the performance mode is set to performance. Radeon chill and Radeon image shuffling are both disabled. And then wait for vertical refresh is set to off unless application specifies. I've got frame rate target control is enabled. Maximum FPS is 60. Anti-aliasing, use application setting. Anti-aliasing method is multi-sampling. Morphological anti-aliasing is also enabled. I told you that this actually benefits the AMD system. I used to think it was negative, but it's actually a good thing for AMD. The morphological anti-aliasing, I used to think that was a bad thing, but it's actually good for AMD. Anti-socket filtering is enabled. Anti-socket filtering level is set to 16 times. Texture filtering point is set to performance. Surface format optimization is enabled, and digitalization mode is AMD optimized. OpenGL triple buffering, this is disabled. I've never used this, not even on a gaming laptop. They said it creates a lot of screen tearing and lag. OpenGL triple buffering is usually used when you're playing retro games, not AAA titles. This was 8-bit pixel format. That means in Paris. I changed it to 10-bit pixel format. And after you enable this, it does ask you to install the system. Then there's reset here. Guys, I told you guys never sample this because it will mess up all your graphics shading, especially for Black Ops. Any game that has shaders, it's not good to reset. Right, methods. So sampling interval is 0.25 FPS latency metrics. Sampling interval hardware metrics is set to 1. Tuning, I told you that I changed mine. I used to use 96, but a lot of games don't like the 96 and 64. A lot of games don't like 64. So I used the 32GB, and so far no game has crashed on me or caused any issues. So I'm using the 32 gigs. This is a 128GB system. If I was using AI, then that's different, then I can use 96. But I'm just playing games on it at the moment. It says variable graphics memory, and if you set this to high, it's 64GB. Medium is 32, and minimum I think is 16 gigs. But I just selected my own. I just used the variable one, and the custom selected one because when you click on this, it lets you pick what you want. 0.5GB, 1GB, 2GB, 4GB, 8GB, 16GB. 32 is the best one if you got 128GB. And 64 and 96, I think these are just basically, if you are doing language models, if you're using AI stuff, then that's when you use 96. Right, so this getting graphics memory set to 32 bytes, that's virtual memory. Remaining system memory set to 96. Settings, this is graphic duration is 60 seconds, and it says hide matrix overlay during logging, it says enabled. Smart technology, my system doesn't support any of it. AMD noise suppression is unsupported, AMD privacy features unsupported, and AMD smart access video is unsupported, and AMD smart access memory is unsupported. If you go to settings, then it just shows that my drive is up to date. This one was released in November. I told you that certain games don't like the November one. Upgrade still says there's an issue with the November driver. But I've got 3 drivers. I've got the September, October, and the November, the new driver. So if I ever needed to change the driver, it takes like a few seconds just to select it. I would basically just click on settings like so. Right, it won't come in this. Right, let me just pick something else. Let me go into Gen, then pick settings. And go to settings, display, and then I'll go to advanced display. And then when it says display adapter properties for display 1, and this is the new monitor, the 12 months MSI. It supports 240 Hz, and it only supports 240 Hz using the display port, not HDMI. Because if you use HDMI, it only goes up to 165, but if you use like I'm using display port, it's 240 Hz. Right, display adapter properties for display 1 for this. I don't know if you guys can see it, because it's kind of a touch screen. Right, so it does say total available graphics memory is 81,739 megabytes. Dedicated video memory is 32,768 megabytes. System video memory is 0 megabytes. Shared system memory is 48,971 megabytes. Let's go to click on properties, click on driver, and then click on update driver. Then select browse my computer for drivers. Then you select, let me pick from a list of available drivers on my computer. And you see I've got 16/9/2025, that's the September driver. That's the driver that works with all the systems, but it doesn't give you the software for Radeon, it just gives you the driver. Then the code one is 13/10/2025. This one works with everything, but it gives you the Radeon software. But this won't work properly with games like Battlefield 6 or upgraded. I'm not sure, I don't remember the one. I think it's upgraded. And then this one, 06/11/2025, that's November one. Still has an issue with upgraded, but does work with Battlefield 6 and gives you the AMD Radeon settings. All I need to do here is just click on next, and it will give me, it will install the driver that I want installed. And to revert it, to put it back to the old one, and just select that driver, and it goes back into the system. They're already in the system, right? About 3 drivers. But because it depends on the one you're currently using. You just select the one you want to click on next, and it does a black out the screen, and then it sets up the new driver. That's basically it. It takes a few seconds to do. So it's not a major thing. You don't have to restart your system because it's already installed on your computer, right? I showed you set time resolution. All my gaming hub for this Radeon thing. So I haven't finished with this. It says VRAM. Virtual memory is 32,768 megabytes. LPDDR5 at 1,000 megabytes, but this is actually 8,000 megabytes. And then RAM is 128 gigabytes. And like I said, AMD Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 with Radeon 8060S, 16 cores, 32 threads, all that stuff, right? What to display? I'm using okay, AMD FreeSync not supported. Virtual super resolution. Right, so I don't know why that was not on. Maybe I didn't activate it. Right, so virtual super resolution is enabled. GPU scaling is enabled. Scaling mode is preserved aspect ratio. And integrated scaling, I've just enabled it. All integrated scaling are centered mode, so I've enabled that. Calibrated 10BPC, whatever. And then pixel format RGB 4.4. And then it says, display color enhancement, right? I selected vivid gaming. So it's a good thing I came in here because none of this is turned on. So, right, AMD FreeSync not supported. Virtual super resolution enabled. GPU scaling enabled. Scaling mode, preserved aspect ratio. Integrated scaling enabled. And then display color enhancement, vivid gaming, right? Audio and video is set to vivid. Hotkeys, I only have the top here, nothing else is on. And then preferences, in-game overlay disabled, web browser disabled, system tray main enabled, advertisements disabled, post notifications enabled, game adjustment tracking and notifications enabled, tutorials disabled, theme is dark, language is English, always on top enabled, side buttons is the left side, animations and effects disabled, and that's just an AMD user experience page. Right, so that's basically that's AMD software. I'm going to show you this. 60 cores, 32 threads is now running. Oh wow. Should be high performance. I don't know why it's your service is that. Right, this is the great performance codes. I just put on red, that's the one that's going to use the 120 to 140 watts. It does say 55 watts TDP, then it says C TDP 45 to 140, but mine does go up to 140. It depends on the game you're playing. So like I said, 16 cores, 32 threads. It's now using high performance. Just have to make sure it was doing that. Let me see, let me check on this. Right, that's on turbo, that's fine. Let me check on this, it's on max high performance. The other way I can check is I go into control panel. So if it's like this categories, you click on the category and it says large or small icons, and choose small icons. You need to select power options, and it does your high performance, so it's fine. Right, so I'm going to select Fortnite and go into library, and once I click on this, it will start running. So it's going to play Fortnite. There you go. That's Fortnite. I'm using a Polaroid P1 for sound. I hope it doesn't go to my Bluetooth console as well. Sometimes it does this. It thinks this is the speaker, and it comes to this. If that happens, I'll have to use a Polaroid P2 because I have another Bluetooth speaker, and I'll have to use that instead. Right, so I'm just waiting for the game to start up. Started. Test time for Radeon. Nuclear core. Right, so what's happening? Oh, wow, what happened there? Oh, wow, okay. So that was so weird. Respawn Rumble. Let's go to settings. Let's find out what the settings are like. It says display. Display is full screen. Resolution is 3200 by 1800, 16.